Welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to talk a little bit about the real estate market in the Phoenix area. It is October 2022. Please go ahead and leave your comments below, like and subscribe. That way you're notified every time I put up a new video. So let's get right to it. I'm looking right now through the Cromford index, both at the market index, the demand index, and the supply index. The market index right there in the middle at 98.8. This tells us whether we are in a balanced market, whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. Well, we're between 90 to 110. So right now at this point, we're actually in a balanced market. The supply index and the demand index are things that really tell us where the market index is. So the supply index at this time is at 80.7. Now, I will tell you earlier this year, I want to say about 6, 7 months ago, it was at around 24% of normal. So supply has gone up quite a bit and it has been growing. Demand index actually has been going down. Believe it or not so long ago, it was over 400. So it's come down quite a bit. And as of the day or two ago, this is the first time that the supply index has actually been higher than the demand index. So what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what, these are going to be some of the impacts that are going to be seen on the seller side. And let me start off with showing a chart right here. This is from the Fred.com, which shows the last 5 years of mortgage interest rates. Now, granted, you can use this chart to look at, going all the way back to about 1970. But just for purposes of this, I want to look at the 5 year. And you can see that we had been under 5% for quite some time. But back in about April, May of this year, we went over 5, and then of course it started going up. And well, right now, as of today, when I Googled this, 30-year fix, supposedly we're at 8%. So you can see this is still showing that we have interest rates for mortgages going up. Now, how does that affect sellers? Well, I'll tell you what, first for buyers, your monthly payment is going up. I mean, even if home prices have gone down a little bit, you're going to end up paying more over the time of a loan. So it is become a little bit more expensive on a monthly basis for buyers. Now, let's look at this chart here. This is the monthly average sales price per square foot. Now, as we could see, the mortgage rates, they ended up going up ballpark at around June. And if we look at this chart right here, give or take in June, watch this. The average dollar per square foot for sold started going down, and currently we're ballpark at around 277, and that's down from the 305. So ballpark, I don't know, about $26 a square foot is what we've seen go down. Now, I will tell you, this isn't the same everywhere. I mean, if you were to just, look at specific cities, like, I don't know, let's just click on, I don't know, let's try Arizona City. Arizona City, for example, has gone down a little bit, gone up a little bit, but overall it's gone down some 20-some dollars. We could change that and maybe look at Avondale a little bit more niche specific. And you can see this one, it's at 216 and it had been at about 247. So about, 30 or so dollars a square foot. And Scottsdale is another popular one. So let's look at Scottsdale. Scottsdale was at the height at 494 on average, and right now it's basically at about 437. So 437, 494, you're looking at what, about, $50+ a square foot. It's gone down. So anyway, you can see the trend here overall, though, is I believe these interest rates that we're seeing, over here are definitely putting a downward pressure on sales prices. Now, something else. This is looking at the average actual sales prices. The average for the Phoenix area is about 480, and now you look at it now, it's gone down to about 440, so about $40,000 per transaction. Of course, we can look at this, by city, etc. But, this is one of the first times that it's really kind of a niche market. Different areas have gone down different, ways. Some places are actually a buyer's market now, while others are still kind of experiencing a little bit of a seller's market. And of course, price ranges make a big difference now too. Looking at this chart right here, I want to go ahead and show the percent of seller closing concessions paid. This is a seller giving assistance to buyers for closing. And you can see, during the, COVID pandemic, that was still pretty low. We were at about 20% or lower for basically 2020 through about 2022, April, May of this year. But look at how it's shot up. And right now, about 42% of closings have the sellers paying closing costs. And I know very popular with buyers right now is to ask for assistance to help do a rate buy down so that their monthly payments could be more affordable. So sellers, be aware, chances are you are going to end up having to pay closing costs at this point. Now, foreclosures, a lot of people are thinking, oh, maybe, foreclosures back like in 2008 are putting a downward pressure on prices. Well, I got to tell you, you can see here how the notice of foreclosures were so high back in 2008 to about 2012, but it's been relatively flat since then. So the number of foreclosures really has not picked up. So what to expect in the future? Well, I got to tell you what, with looking at this current mortgage rate here, I'm thinking that we still may experience more, downward pressure on those prices because homes are becoming, kind of unaffordable with those interest rates for buyers, and people that must sell are going to have to start making concessions. And that's going to be probably both in price as well as giving concessions to help buyers with closing costs or rate buy downs. So that is basically the news for right now. Please let me know what you think. Leave comments. Don't forget, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking. Have a good day.